So ecosystems. If we're going to go back and we're going to reference bio, and we started, and if I'm going to talk about levels of organization, and I start, let me make this a little bit bigger, with how we study life, which we're going obviously beyond that in this class. We started with an atom, or we can even go protons, neutrons, electrons, if we want to go really low. Then comes an atom. Then comes what? Atoms combine to form what? Molecules. And then molecules combine to form parts of a cell, which are called organelles. And then organelles combine to form cells, and cells combine to form tissues. Tissues combine to form organs. Then, I don't have to keep saying it, do I? Organ system. And then where we are, which is organism. What's another word for an organism? If it's an organism and it can produce fertile offspring. And that's really the definition of what we are in this class as individuals. An organism that can breed and produce fertile offspring. Or another word for a living thing. What do you considered? I'll give you a letter. Yep. An organism that can breed and produce fertile offspring. I mean, that's the definition of a species. Can we go from here to here and skip all this? If you're a living thing, yes. Okay, so the levels of organization, not necessarily you have we are the most complex organism, so we have cells that make tissues, that make organ systems, but there's organisms like what? That are only bacteria, that are only consisting of a cell, and yet they're living and do all functions of living things, okay? Which means reproduce and form what? All species in a given area, or us in this room form what? Populations. So it's a group of species in the same area make up a population. So you notice hence the one little dog, and then we've got multiple dogs, and they vary, right? And that's important to know because that's diversity and that's important in a population. Now here we have dogs and birds and fish interacting. So different populations in a given area. Community. So if you take these animals, the dog, the cat, obviously the fish wouldn't be a part of this particular group. A snake, so I hit him. He's in there in the tree actually. What do you make? Good. What's missing? What are the dog, fish, cat doing? Interacting with what? Each other. Good. They're interacting with all the abiotic and biotic components of the environment. So it's not just different communities, it's their communities with interacting with each other and with a tree, which is living also, air, which is not, water, right? That makes up an ecosystem. And that's what the focus of the next 3 units is. It's all about ecosystem, organisms in the ecosystem, matter in the ecosystem, energy in the ecosystem. And then we move on to the bigger picture, which is what? Ecosystems of Earth, I could say, or all parts of Earth that support life, yes, are the biospheres. Video was so matter. Matter traveling through the ecosystem, we're going to reference a little review of matter. What is the law of matter state? Good. What can it be? Transformed, changed, rearranged. If you need to write all those words to understand that that's what they're referencing, they are changing in some way or rearranging their form. So that's what happens to matter. You want to reference matter as low and high quality. And that depends on what? Generally. What do you think of when you think of high quality matter? If I'm telling you it's concentrated, easily extracted. Concentrated is probably the key word. Sturdy. What else? Available, yeah. Or easy to get. What are examples of high quality matter, concentrated matter, versus low quality, which we call dispersed matter. Awesome. So you go from solid, liquid to gas, and that's where the matter's state changes, or how useful it's going to be. Now, who can explain this question I put here? Matter is a closed system. And I'm going to pause because obviously it's going to take.
It's like delta S, so we have the same amount of matter on Earth at all times.
So all matter on Earth starts on Earth, circulates through Earth, and stays on Earth. It's never lost from Earth, or it doesn't start from anywhere else. Now, obviously, there's exceptions to that because of technology. What's an exception to that? Space. See my space picture in the background? Because if we take matter from Earth and build a space station outside of Earth, we've taken matter away from Earth, right? Or if some form of matter comes from space onto Earth, then it's additional matter. But generally, by the law, it stays here and circulates here, right? And that's important to know because energy is not like that.